Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. I had the whole setup here because I just got done filming an Instagram live. So I thought, you know what, I have it set up. Why don't I just film a little video for you guys? So I wanted to talk about, I saw a UFO last night. So I just wanted to share it. I have video of it and I'll probably make it a separate, unless I make this short enough, I could probably just add it to it, but I'll add it to the end of this video. I saw a UFO last night, and what I was doing was I was sitting outside with the dogs, and they were, doing their thing, and I was waiting for them to poop so I could bring them in the house so they wouldn't shit all over the floor. And I was sitting down and I was reading, and then I looked up and I saw this light. And it was a green light. It was like a little green speck, like you know how you see the lights of the planes, because the sun was already setting, so it was, fairly dark. And it was this green light that was just floating around, and then it was like going up and it was going down, and I was like, what is that? And it reminded me of like as if someone had a laser. Someone had a laser and they were pointing it and like kind of waving it around like that, but it wasn't a laser. It was like an object in flight. And I took 2 videos of it because I wanted to be able to send it in a text message. So you know how you can only send like 20-something second video? So I took 2 videos. And this thing was just floating around and then it disappeared. Like it literally would disappear, but it wouldn't just disappear. It would like fade out. And it was kind of cloudy, so maybe it was going behind a cloud or whatever. But it was weird. So it completely went away. And then I would say maybe 5 or 10 minutes passed, and then it happened again. So I grabbed my phone and I was like taking another video of it. Anyway, I love aliens. I'm all about aliens. I'm all about connecting with alien, meditating with them. My spirit guide is an alien. I know I probably sound cuckoo, but I love aliens. And I just thought it was the most amazing sight, whether it was a UFO or it was just what are those things called, drones? I asked my husband too. I was like, do you think this is a drone? And he's like, nah, that's not a drone. And I'm like, okay. It wasn't an airplane, because if you guys know, if it's an airplane or some sort of a human aircraft, it has to have like a blinking red light. At least that's what I've been told. And this object had no blinking red light. It was a green little orb. It was so cool. So I've been on an astrology kick the last couple days. I've been studying it. I've been heavily doing astrology, and I just thought that was the craziest thing. So if you guys have any of your own UFO stories, I want to hear it. So I'll tell you my UFO story. Aside from my event last night, that was like the first sighting I've ever had like that. One time I was in my room and I was about maybe 14 years old. I was in my room and it was late at night and I was in bed, and I remember the lights were all off, and then all of a sudden the blinds were closed in my bedroom, and all of a sudden my room lit up. Okay. And it was not just like one bright light. It was rainbow lighting. It was like twinkling, like literally rainbow lights. And it was my whole bedroom. I just remember like I looked to the window because of course, obviously when you're seeing light coming into your room, the window is the first thing that you're going to look at. And I remember I looked quickly to my window, and I could see all the lights like coming out from the sides of the blinds, as if there was somebody or something shining this light through my window. But it was so bright that my entire room lit up. And so then it stopped, right? And for a second, I paused and I just like waited in bed, like what the hell just happened? And I got up, and my bed was right next to the window, like the wall, the window, my bed was right there, right up against the window. And I remember I sat up and I opened the blind a little bit to peek through, and I looked, dead. The whole street was dead. I remember it was super late. The neighbors were all inside. There was nobody outside. No one's garage door was open. It was a dead silent street. There were no cars driving by because I lived in a cul-de-sac. So if a car drove by, it would have to go around. No cars, no one was out, nothing, you guys. And I was like, where the hell did this light come from? It was the most craziest thing. Now, fast forward to when I met my husband. I remember I was telling my husband this UFO story. And I remember he told me that's weird because me and my friend had an experience somewhat like that. They actually saw the object though. So he said him and his friend were playing football in the street and they threw the football up, and when they were looking up at the football going, you know, flying, as they threw the football away, they said they could see from the tree there was this round object from the tree that flew from the tree across the sky into another tree. And he said, my husband said that this thing was like, it was like an orb, like it was round and it was flashing rainbow lights. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, and they were young too. So, you know, I'm not saying this was like the same day that we saw the same thing, but it was like, it had to have been, I mean, it was just too much of a coincidence. Like, that we both saw something. I just saw the lights. I didn't see the actual object, but they saw the object, and it was both of them. And I remember I asked his best friend, I was like, dude, do you remember that UFO sighting? Like, tell me about it. And his story was the exact same story as my husband. So I knew, you know, they weren't just fucking with me. Like, they were being honest. It was the same story. And I was just like, that is so cool. They couldn't explain it. So I was just, I don't know. What is it? What were the lights, you know? The only logical thing I could think was maybe one of the neighbors had disco lights, you know? Maybe they were turning on their lights or whatever, and because it wasn't Christmas time. So maybe they were turning on their lights in the garage and it, you know, it just lit up the street. But it literally felt like it was so bright that it lit up my whole room. And then when I looked out the window, like literally a couple minutes after it happened, no one was out. So what was that? But anyway, I've never experienced seeing an actual alien except for in my meditations. But I don't know, you guys, it was cool. So last night's sighting was really cool. It was really cool. So I will put the video up so you guys can see, and you can see for yourself what you think it is. Tell me, is it an airplane? Is it a drone? What do you think it is? Because in my eyes, to me, it's definitely something I couldn't identify. So what, you know, the logical thing to think is, oh, it's a UFO. I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. Who knows? All I know is I believe. I believe in aliens. I will admit it. I believe in aliens. I'm down for that. So I don't know. I'm treasuring it. And I didn't delete my video because I knew it was like I needed to share this at one point. So a lot of the people who saw it on my Instagram were like, oh, that's so cool. So tell me what you guys think. And yeah, let's talk about it. Leave some comments below. Tell me your UFO stories. I want to hear. I love reading about that stuff. Let's talk. Bye, guys.